Where is the origin started, sir?
Started way back in January 1979.
The fishermen crossing the line, some problems is happening. They're getting that fisherman. You are helping that people, sir?
We are not directly involved in the issue. My name is Yugraj Yadava. I'm director of the Bay of Bengal Programme. Please watch my story in Connect Wood.
Hi guys, watch your story episode. Today we are going to speak a great person. He's a director of BOBP, Bay of Bengal Programme. So what is happening in Bay of Bengal? What story? How it started? Everything we can talk to directly to Mr. Yugraj Yadav. Hi sir, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, sir.
And thank you very much for having me in this program.
Thank you, sir. Sir, what is BOBP?
The Bay of Bengal program, it's a very old program. It started way back in the year 1979
1979.
in Chennai.
Okay.
And the program was a field project of the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations. And the basic objective of the program was to work on small-scale fisheries.
It's mainly for small-scale
Small-scale fisheries.
Okay.
In all the countries surrounding the Bay of Bengal.
What are the countries, sir? Okay.
Starting on the west from Maldives, Sri Lanka, India, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Thailand, Indonesia and Malaysia.
Sir, there are a lot of countries. Almost you have covered 6 to 7 countries, I think, sir. Where is the origin started, sir?
Yeah, so as I said, it started way back in January 1979. And from 1979 until 2000, the program went through 3 phases. It was financially supported by a large number of UN organizations and also partially supported by the member countries themselves. The program contributed immensely to the development of fisheries in the Bay of Bengal region, starting from the introduction of new boats, the introduction of fiber reinforced plastic as a material for boat building. It also promoted aquaculture. It promoted community-based fisheries management. You will be surprised that the ice box that you see, so commonly used by the fishermen in India.
Yes, sir.
It came from the Bay of Bengal program. In the early 90s,
the
ice box.
You bring that product.
Yes, we brought that product.
So it's every fisherman have that product.
Every fisherman has that product. We also worked very extensively on the safety at sea, and the project was instrumental in bringing out guidelines, in bringing out advisories, and supporting the member countries in development of their small-scale fisheries. The result is that many countries in the Bay of Bengal are today the top producers of fish in the world, and they not only meet their own fish requirements but also provide quality fish to rest of the world.
And one more question, sir. Fishers' status in India.
Yes, India has a very large population of marine fishermen, and it ranges, from very small scale artisanal traditional fishermen to modernized fishermen who operate mechanized boats like trawlers, gill netters, and many of them are also using long liners.
Okay.
They fish all over the Indian exclusive economic zone, and many of them, they also go and fish in the high seas and bring back valuable fish that provides the food and nutritional security to India.
And one thing is happening, the fishermen crossing the line above the Bay of Bengal, some problems is happening. They're getting that fisherman. You are helping that people, sir?
We are not directly involved in the issue because we are an intergovernmental body, and India, Sri Lanka, both are members of this organization.
Yeah.
So we as an intergovernmental body do not get directly involved. But yes, we do provide technical advice to both the countries to ensure that fishermen remain within their own boundaries.
This is major issue in India, sir.
Yes, it's a major issue, but as I said, being an intergovernmental body, where both India and Sri Lanka are members, we normally do not engage ourselves in the inter-country issues.
Okay. And then another topic, you introduced one thing, the life float, life jacket. Life float, one concept I've seen your demo video, how it's working, sir. It's going each and every fisherman. You introduce that product like ice box. You bring it another product. I think recently you launched, I think, life float.
Yes.
What is the concept of life float? How it's work?
You see, the Bay of Bengal program has been very actively involved in safety at sea of fishermen. And way back in the late 80s, we brought out a manual on safety at sea.
Okay.
And that manual turned out to be a bestseller.
Okay.
And we have been working on various aspects of safety at sea, from the guidance to also products that can help fishermen in overcoming the issues of safety when they are at sea. In this process, we also developed a life float.
Life float.
This life float is made from fiber reinforced plastic. And the concept of this life float is that mechanized fishing vessels which go out for fishing for multi-days can carry this life float, and in case of any emergency, whether it's a breakdown,
injured, anybody,
it's a breakdown of the boat, or any cyclonic weather, when the boat sinks, all the fishermen in the boat, they can be around the life float.
How many person in life float can maximum they can use, sir?
We have a medium size of life float which can take about 7 to 8 people.
7 to 8
people.
One single life float?
One single life float.
Okay.
The advantage of the life float is that unlike life jackets, where fishermen after some time they get dispersed.
Yeah, they
don't stay together.
The waves will separate.
The waves will disperse, separate them. And in the sea, in such a big environment, when you are alone, your moral support weakens.
Yeah, that's sure, sir.
And psychologically you get weak. But when you are in a group, when 6-7 fishermen are around the life float,
some confidence will be
confidence is there. And each one of them keeps the other in a good mood. And until the rescue arrives, they can stay afloat. Now this life float, we have provided the mold to the South Indian Federation of Fishermen Societies, and from the mold they are preparing the life floats.
Oh.
And these life floats are being now sold on a commercial basis to fishermen. An NGO in West Bengal has also got a mold made.
Okay.
And this NGO is making the life floats for distribution of the life floats to fishermen in West Bengal. And we are also requesting the...
It's executing in every state, in every country?
Not at the moment.
Why,
it is
sir?
yet to pick up. But we are requesting the Government of India to subsidize this life
India
float.
government is accepting this, sir?
Yes, they have accepted this. And we are requesting them to subsidize this life float so that it can be made available to each and every mechanized boat that goes out for multi-day fishing.
And another question, the Anita, the homemaker, Anita and his husband and wife, both are, you made some initiative to BOP supported to that lady. She made some unique things in that area, Vaityakuppam, Puducherry village. You are generated into the Auro fish method. So BOP is supported to them. They bought the existing area, you renovated. How you supporting that small scale? She's an entrepreneur, fisher entrepreneur.
Yes.
So how you supported? It's useful to like that people. It's really useful, sir.
You see, there is immense post-harvest loss in Indian fisheries. Estimates are that about 15 to 20% of the fish after being caught is perished and is unavailable for people to eat. And a parliamentary panel very recently estimated that the post-harvest losses from marine fisheries could be around 15,000 crores per annum.
15,000 crores.
15,000 crores.
Okay.
And BOBP has been working on improving the post-harvest activities for quite some time. And the project that we carried out with Anita and her husband Muthuvel was in the same direction, how we could, build partnerships between the fishermen and the small processors.
Okay.
So that
No middleman.
no middlemen, so that whatever is caught by the fishermen, it is preserved properly on the boat, and the small time processors, they take the entire fish, they do the basic level of processing and market it.
How it works means fishers, no middleman, wholesaler, retailer, processor, all together one.
Yes.
And then directly it will goes to consumer.
Directly it goes to the
In
consumer.
between, no one will be there.
In between,
Before
no
the conventional way, you have centered fisher, middleman, retailer, and the processor, and then another concept, and then last you are into three process. Directly, all in this out of fish method is easily the work. Directly, the people will get double the cost. They can earn BOP. I have seen more than the profit they can earn it.
Yeah, initially the fishermen in Vaithikuppam in Puducherry and Nadukuppam, which is a neighboring village in Tamil Nadu, they were getting about 80 rupees to 100 rupees per kilogram for the tuna that they were catching. After they entered into a partnership with Anita and Muthuvel, now they are getting almost 200 rupees per kilogram. And they are only bringing that much quantity of fish that can be kept in the ice box and brought in perfect condition to Anita, where she carries out the basic level of processing, cleaning, gutting, and making the fish into loins and pieces. And then she carries out the marketing. And some of the top restaurants in Puducherry are buying her fish. And even some fish processors and dealers from faraway places like Gurgaon in Haryana are also sourcing the tuna from Anita.
Sir,
and
it's really inspiring, sir.
Yes, in this process, the fishermen are not spoiling any fish. They're not catching too many fishes. They're only catching the fish that they can bring back in good quantity and good quality in the ice boxes.
She had a perfect setup.
Yes. So it's a model, and we feel that if such cooperative arrangement between fish harvesters, that is fishermen, and the small processors can be created along the entire coastline of India,
it will work out, sir.
It will work out very well, and there will be very less wastage of fish, and it will be a win-win situation for everybody.
And then it's really inspiring, sir. The woman, she's a homemade, now she had a business with the support of BOP. That's really inspiring. And then next question is the sharks.
Yes, I wanted to tell you that today is the awareness day for sharks.
Wow, sir.
This day, 14 July, is celebrated every year to create awareness amongst the public on the beneficial role that the sharks play in the oceans. I must tell you that sharks are like the tigers of the sea.
Okay.
In the food chain or the food pyramid in the sea, sharks are at the top.
Yes, sir.
And they control the population to a very large extent. If sharks are reduced, if their population is reduced, there will be a population imbalance in the oceans. So they have a very beneficial role to play. And sharks also are very long-lived animals. And if they are captured in large quantities, then their repopulation in the oceans takes time. So sharks fishing has to be
Developed
of a very sustainable on a very sustainable basis, and there are many protected shark species which should not be caught because their populations have gone down. So one has to be very careful. The fishermen have to be very careful while catching a shark.
It's risky, no, sir?
It's risky, but as I said, it is more problematic if the shark population gets reduced in the ocean. It will upset the population balance in the oceans.
It's a major chain.
Yeah, sharks have a very important role to play, and many shark species are already highly threatened and they need protection. So my advice to all the fishermen is that do not catch shark, avoid catching shark to the maximum extent possible.
And at last, And one more thing before that, the fishes. What are the Bay of Bengal? What type of fish is famous?
Yeah, you see, being a tropical ecosystem, the Bay of Bengal also has a very large diversity of fish species.
Which one is very familiar?
Yes.
Always all time, you will get the fishes like that. One fish will be there.
Yeah, you see, sardines are very popular, mackerels are very popular, seerfish is very popular,
Okay.
pomfrets are very popular. So there are large number of species, which have a very high consumer preference and also command lot of respect, not only within India but also outside India.
Outside also. Same variety, same species, it will be different.
Yes, it will be different, but as I said, being a tropical ecosystem, it supports a very large diversity of fish species, and many of them, are very popular with the consumers. The names I have already mentioned.
Yeah, you are right. And at last, COVID affects the fishermen?
Yes, COVID, unfortunately, is a pandemic, and with the restriction on fishing for many months, the fishermen have lost their livelihood, and it has become a big problem, and we feel that necessary measures should be taken by the government, at least to avoid the loss of livelihoods and the problems that the fishermen face due to COVID-19 in the future.
But hopefully everything will be all right, sir.
We hope that the problem will be over soon.
It's affect everybody, fishermen also, it's a major effect.
Yeah, because their livelihood, comes from fishing.
Without
And when
fishing, they
fishing
can't
is stopped, there is no livelihood.
That's true, sir. They are basic, like agriculture.
Yes.
Like fishermen, that's their duties. And really inspiring to know about the BOBP, Bay of Bengal Programming Inter-Governmental Organization. In this, very big things many things I learned. You started in 1979.
Yeah,
it's now till now it's on process. Many countries are working together. Hopefully everything will be solved, but really inspiring to know. As a director, you told many things about BOP. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for your precious time to spend with us. Tell about the BOP. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.